The school leaders, they have great responsibility to retain teachers. Teachers, see, everybody doesn't work for money. Money is not the only thing a teacher looks forward to, or any human being for that matter, I think.
Yeah.
So one needs growth, respect, value, and yes, some space.
Welcome to the podcast Tea with a Teacher. Every teacher has their own experience of life, and that is what makes every teacher special by the values they share with the students. Our guest on today's episode is Miss Asha Chauhan. She is a teacher trainer who has traveled around India as an army kid and also as a wife of an army officer. It's a pleasure to have you on today's podcast, ma'am.
Good morning, Habit. Thank you very much for inviting me on this platform.
Well, to start with, I would like to know your story, how you started teaching, how you got into the profession of teaching. What is your story?
As you've already told, I'm from army background. So I have a very eventful, long, and interesting story to share. I started my teaching career from Arya Girls College, Jalandhar, which was my first station with my husband. And after that, every 2 years, or at times even after 1 year, I had to change my school because of my husband's transferable job. He's an army officer, as you're aware. And going down the memory lane, the schools I have worked with are Kendra Vidyalayas at Pathankot, Ahmednagar, Hisar, and Babina. Then army schools at Bareilly and Fazilka. I have also worked with convents, that is St. Joseph's Bharatpur, and St. Joseph's Bhatinda and St. Peter's Bharatpur. In addition to these schools, I have also worked with the PVP Gwalior, MPS Gurugram, and the last school I worked with was GD Goenka. Yeah, I've also worked with a residential school in Missouri, Dehradun. So in total, I've worked with 14 schools across the nation. And now I'm into teacher training. I conduct workshops to train teachers. That's how it started.
So there are a lot of schools and different category of schools that you have worked with. So you might have seen that there are a lot of different policies in every institution that are there related to human resources and how the school works in the geographical manner also, and it varies from institutions to institution. So were you able to adapt those policies when you were changing jobs?
In fact, when I had to change schools, it was really challenging for me. See, after every 2 years, I had to go hunting for job. And the most challenging was adjusting to the new environment and then proving my worth. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But yes, I had wonderful time. And it was only because of army background that I got ample opportunities to interact with wonderful people, which widened my perspective. And it is only because of working in so many schools that my skills, experience has been enhanced. So it proved like blessing in disguise for me.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I'm proud to be an army officer's wife.
So what personality have you developed being in the army environment?
See, adaptability is the hallmark of an army officer's wife. Every second you're changing, it's not easy then adjusting to the environment, as I just told you. So that's it. Then when you're interacting with different kind of people, different kind of environment, it definitely adds to your knowledge.
Right.
So, and then you automatically learn the skills. Like now also, like we are into this experiential learning. What is it? Experiential learning is basically learning by doing. So we have been exposed and learning by doing. This is what I have been doing all these years.
Well, you learn by doing only. When you keep on doing the activities, you become a master of it. And now you are a trainer. because you have gained that experience and now you are training good teachers to become even better in the teaching profession. So, well, we'll get back to this topic of experiential learning ahead. But I would like to know, what is your opinion? How do you see the well-being and mental health of teachers as a trainer, also as a leader, also? How can leaders, take care of teachers' mental health, the principals or the people in the management? We don't talk much about it, but what is your opinion on it?
Glad, Hamid, glad, because you talked about the much needed but the most avoided question. Teachers are the backbone of society. Teachers create other professionals. We all say this, and
True.
rightly so, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as you said, we never talk about their well being. I don't know how can we expect proficiency, efficiency, productivity from the teachers who are under stress. I think it is imperative that the school leaders they ensure happiness and well-being of the teachers. And that is very, very important. And how it can be ensured is it's very simple. Like I think it's with all professions. So basically, by creating conducive environment where everybody is respected and valued, that's very important. We all need that, isn't it?
Yes.
Then
And
is
do you feel that in the institution teachers are not that respected?
see day by day they are losing the respect. What it was a decade ago, it's no longer the same.
I completely agree to
So
that.
yeah, and this is the yeah. Here I would like to add that this is the reason, especially in NCR, teachers are leaving job. They're shifting. They're looking for an alternative. That's unfortunate.
So
So
what is
to
what
continue,
is this
yeah.
alternative that we talk about? Is it the edtech companies, the online coachings, or can't we build an adaptability mindset of these teachers so they even get adaptable to the institution policies, and also train the management to take care of their employees with the HR, and creating good and healthy HR policies for their employees?
See, it is not about adaptability. There's a limit to everything, right? When your mental health starts getting affected, it's better quit and change.
Yes.
And this is what most of the teachers are doing. So I
Yes.
feel the school leaders they have great responsibility to retain teachers. Teachers, see, everybody doesn't work for money. Money is not the only thing a teacher looks forward to, or any human being for that matter. I think
Yeah.
so. So one needs growth, respect, value, and yes, some space. I'll say that never impose anything upon teachers. Strictly don't ask the teachers to follow the instructions. Give them some space, something they can try. Let them use their experience, let them use their knowledge. And this will definitely make a teacher feel wanted and valued. And once, even if you're not getting good salary, you can stay in a place if you are happy and mentally, physically healthy.
Right. Every person, every teacher, as you are also a teacher trainer now, every teacher comes with their own experience when in the classroom, with their own knowledge. And they should be given an open hand to experiment with the students, with their activities that they want to do. That will create a personal impact on students. But if you are going to teach the same thing year on year, it will be a repetitive thing. And the students will not learn new things. They will be learning the same history chapters, the same mathematical problems, the same science. What about the new updates which are there? And a teacher is not the one who just teach, but they learn the new things and then implement it, then teach the students the new things. That's what I feel. Like every teacher has their own wisdom, their own knowledge, and that's why they have come into profession to embrace those children with with the knowledge that they have.
Absolutely right, Hamid. In fact, see, even teachers, they need to upgrade and upskill themselves. We are living in a world which is fast changing, which is uncertain and full of challenges. During pandemic, we all have witnessed, right? So it
Yeah.
is also duty of a teacher and even the school leaders to organize workshops, training workshops for them, so that they are aware, not only aware, I say, because most of the teachers I have seen during my workshop sessions, that they're aware of the latest policies, the latest pedagogies, but the problem is they don't know how to implement it properly. So that implementation part is very, very important. And for that, we need to train the teachers.
Yes, the implementation of a policy, of implementation of anything in the classroom, that is also a skill that a person should have. If you don't know how to make a process and how to, implement the process which is created, so it won't be possible to make it happen. So yeah, I just got to know from you, like it is also an important skill that teachers should know how to implement things, because even if they have the knowledge, if they have, if they have all the subject knowledge, but if they don't know how to give it to the students in the right way that they learn from it, because everybody has their own method of teaching, their own style of teaching, and they have to create
Yes,
their own style, right?
yes,
Yeah. Well,
yes.
moving ahead, I would like to know, as you have trained a lot of teachers so far, so you have come across a different kind of personalities as well. So how would
Yeah.
you define, success of for a teacher?
A wonderful, interesting question, I must say, because we all are running to grab success. But I think, as far the teachers are concerned, the meaning of success is entirely different. I think a successful teacher is one whom students fondly remember, respect, and admire even after leaving the institution. And for this, it is important that the teacher has sincerely worked to change lives of the students for betterment. So the success of the teacher is directly related to the happiness and success of the students. I'll say that promotion and yardsticks, promotion and salary packages are definitely not the yardsticks to measure success of a teacher.
the students result the students achievements, what they have
Yeah,
achieved in the during the school year also, and beyond that as well. And when it is the it is the gold medal for a teacher when a student whom he or she has taught about 10 years ago, and that student comes to them saying, today I am what I am because your one thing inspired me and led me in the right direction. So what is the biggest
yeah,
achievement in that? What
yeah,
is biggest success
true.
in that?
Students, like I'm in this profession for more than 2 decades, and till date, and different places across the nation. So students, they come and meet me, or they connect on the social media, and believe me, Hamid, I'm on cloud nine when I connect to them. It's a different kind of feeling. I feel, yeah, they still remember me. I've left an indelible imprint on their heart, mind, and soul. And that is what success is for me. And I think for every teacher for that matter.
And when every teacher has that mindset of giving without expecting anything back from the students. They don't
Yes.
expect anything, right?
Yeah.
They are just giving their knowledge, their wisdom. They are being humble. And when you do something like, if we just it was Gandhi Jayanti, right? And I even read about Mahatma Gandhi, his personality, his thoughts, his ideologies. He was having that personality and ideology to give to people without expecting anything in return. And that is what
Yes.
made him so great, that the world look up to that person. Like he was such a great man globally, not just in India.
Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. We respect him for his qualities.
The same way teachers are also respected. We can't say now that teachers are respected that much,
No, no,
but
they are respected.
yeah, they are
Yeah. And
respected.
and
But
see,
the
yeah.
uh, the way earlier how we have seen the parents also used to respect the teachers, were respected by the students. Now it's a different scenario altogether. It's not that, yeah, parents also respect,
Yeah,
but
in
the
the,
strictness is
yeah.
also there that you can't do this to the students or that. But we know if that is done, then only the shape of the iron is made.
In this case, Ahmed, I'll blame the parents also. I'm also a parent. I'm not only the teacher. You know, the moment we are overprotective, or we feel we can go to any extent. Teachers are our servants. What amount are they earning? Hardly any amount. I've heard parents saying this. It's not the amount, it is what the teacher is giving to your kids. They need to value that. And so the parents, they need to change their mindset, and even the school leaders. Right? Only then give them free hand. Teachers fine, but there shouldn't be too many limitations.
Yes.
Let them work freely. So we need to change the entire mindset.
Yes. Yes, to the leaders as well, because they also portray their school in a way that parents also expect too much from the school and the teachers. The expectations are put up high, so there are also limitations to the teachers. They have to do as per what the management wants, what the parents also want, and that puts restriction to the teachers. And I feel like if we put restrictions to the resource person who is going to do the job, then they won't be able to do their 100%.
Yeah, can't do
Right?
full justice to the job.
Yes, yes. Well, the new education policy 2020 is already started
Yeah,
implemented, and there are a lot of goals which are defined in it as related to sustainable development, and also the categories of the new structure of classes like primary education, early years, primary, middle year, and also the graduation year. So how do you see that overall, how that is, are those goals are achievable? How are we doing it right now in the schools? Are the schools, as you are also working with along with the teachers and also with the school leaders, are they accepting
yeah.
the NEP, and what is their response to implementation of it?
See, NEP 2020, I'll say it's a revolutionary step in education. Like with the changing world, we need to change or make relevant and adequate changes in education system, and this is what NEP 2020 has done. It
Yes.
is a highly appreciable policy, right? And it aims, as you have already told about the structure, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 school structure. And then it aims to achieve a gross enrollment ratio, 100% gross enrollment ratio by 2030, and foundational literacy and numeracy. And also, it lays focus on competency-based education. That is the excellent thing about NEP 2020. Because competency means it's a combination of skills, knowledge, and attitude. So it aims to produce uh, very dynamic students who possess qualities of head, heart, and soul. Right? But last 2 years, like this policy 2020, and after that we had pandemic. Right? As I
Yes.
told you in the very beginning also, that teachers are aware, the school leaders are aware about the policy. What are the points? But the teachers have not been trained. So taking that policy into classroom, I think it's not happening the way it should be.
True.
Teachers need training so that they can properly implement it. And nothing is unachievable, I feel. The aims of NEP 2020 can be easily achievable, and I say should be achieved. But for this, we need proper implementation. And I'll use this platform to request the school leaders to get their teachers trained. Just don't keep it to papers.
Yes.
Only then it will be beneficial for the students.
Right.
And then only we'll be able to change the entire education system. See, finding flaws in the system is the easiest thing. Anybody can do it. let's
Right.
join hands with the government, or let all educators come together and then make this policy a great success. This is what I feel. It can be done. There's no
Yeah,
problem.
it can
Nothing
be done.
which, yeah, there's
You know,
hardly anything which, yeah.
see, it is achievable. There is nothing that can't be done. And if government has put up this policy for to change the education system, and I completely agree that the education system that we are following right now, it's outdated. It has been a repetitive curriculum that we are doing, right? Since last 20-25 years, I would say. What
34 years.
34 years. Yeah. So
Yeah, this policy
that's
has
too
come after
much.
34 years.
Yeah. So the change has to come, but there is one thing that I feel it will not be in the favor of the future about the earlier year education of students. We talk about teaching them in the local language, regional language, right? But if we see the global market which is running right now, it is in English. Everybody, either from China or Europe or any country in the world, English is a common language of communication to for business. And if you want to create leaders or people who are who want to be at who want to work at the global level, we should make their education, their language skills at the early years. So why is it will that work, like if they are learning in the local language or regional language and not opting in for English as a main language?
I think there's no harm in it. Reason being, see, earlier what we were doing, we were teaching the students in English, right? Using English. But the child would not understand anything. The concepts were not clear. Like I'll tell you, when a child is in grade 2, right? He's taught, he is given definition in 2 lines. By the time he reaches grade 4, the length of definition increases. He goes to grade 9. Again, it increases further. But
Yes.
when it comes to understanding, there's hardly anything. So just learning a language can't create global leaders. Here are all our leaders, and later on, language can be acquired at any stage. And see, foreign languages the students are learning these days. So that starts from, like, if somebody starts learning a language from 6th grade onwards, there's no harm, they can pick it up. First, the base should be strong, the foundation. Otherwise, the teacher is speaking in a language, in English, and the child doesn't understand anything. That's no education.
Yeah, that's true. Now I understand why we should teach the students in the local language, the regional language, because it is their mother tongue. And if it is a tier 2 or tier 3 city, even their mothers don't know how to speak English. So how will that student learn the subjects, the topics that the teacher is teaching in English? Because it is not their mother tongue. They are not speaking at home in English. So it's not possible that they will understand. So to create the base of knowledge, of all the subjects, the topics that the students is learning, I think we can uh, teach that in the regional language, and then after a certain age create an interest for students to learn the global language and pursue their career with that language. That
Yeah,
can be the right option to go ahead and create the
this
to
is,
learn
yeah,
English.
this is what
Yes.
NEP 2020 is all about.
Yes. Yes.
Because see, when we are talking, you're not talking only about the cities. You have
Hmm.
to think about remote areas.
That's why I said tier 2 and tier
Yeah,
3.
yeah, it is. This is what, and we think, yeah, we staying in NCR. We feel, yeah, our students, they have the atmosphere for speaking English. But what about others, right? So
Right.
that's what I feel. We should
Right.
appreciate this step.
Yes, yes. It is for people who are not privileged and empowered to, who are not privileged and empowered to make them future ready with giving them the right skills and knowledge. Well, moving ahead, for a follow-up question from this, I would like to know how can we figure out interest of students? How can we make the students figure out their interests?
Yeah, in teaching and learning process, figuring out students' interest is very, very important. There are different kind of activities, and I just suggest a very simple activity. We can name it like know yourself, or
Mhm.
draw your own pen portrait, which we have been doing in classes. What a teacher can do is she can prepare a brief questionnaire or interest inventory, where
Yeah.
there can be questions like what kind of books do you like to read? Then, how would you like to spend your day? What comforts you when you feel low? Right? These kind of questions can be there. And then students can be asked to answer these questions. One. And second is AIL and experiential learning are the best methods to make students understand their interests. And from my experience, I'll tell you, Ahmed, what happens. Interest of students keeps changing. You'll find in grade 2, the child
Yes.
is interested in one activity. After that, in some other activity. So there are various factors, right?
Right.
So a teacher has to help a child discover and rediscover his interests. So now I
Right.
think by hands-on learning or learning by doing, that is the best way we can help a child to figure out his interest.
Yeah, that's the right way that we can because if they can figure out their interest in their middle years, like 7th, 8th grade, so they can start pursuing or working towards those goals. And if they start early, they can reach those goals early. That's what I believe. It is possible.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, moving ahead to my last question. What, as a teacher trainer, and what skills do you feel lack in a teacher, and how do you, as a trainer, help them master those skills?
Okay. On the basis of the workshops I have conducted,
Yeah.
I'll say teachers are doing excellent job. But yes, there is need to upgrade and upskill. I've observed that most of them, they are not able to give up and replace old teaching methods with the new pedagogies. So what I found missing, or I find missing at present also, like when I'm going these days also, is adaptability and flexibility. In addition to this, the other skills, if I talk about, are critical thinking and creativity. So when we conduct workshops, it is not just delivering a lecture. Like critical thinkers, we have to create critical thinkers. So we tell teachers that they themselves have to be critical thinkers. So whatever they do, we tell them it's not only what, it is why and how. So we advise them, like, whatever you're doing, think, why am I doing this?
Right.
How is it going to help my students? Right, that is important. Then is creativity. I feel without creativity, we cannot adopt or enhance 21st century skills. It is very, very important because if you see, the books are the same, the content is the same. Only we have to present it in a different way. And with the help of that, creating entirely different kind of skills. And creative people can add freshness and newness. And they can, because we have to have activities, different kind of activities, as I told you, hands-on learning. It's not about talk and chalk method. Just teacher delivered a lecture the way when we were students, teachers were doing. It's no longer
Yeah.
the same. So now when you have to plan different kind of activities, so you have to be creative. Yes, if I'm planning this particular activity, which skills I'm looking forward to and which pedagogies I'm going to adopt. Because see, the very purpose of education has undergone sea change. There is a paradigm shift. So
Right.
we aim at creating lifelong learners. We are preparing students for life, not for exams. Right? That is main. So during workshops, we give them lots of activities. Then we use videos, then worksheets, then debates. It's not only that it's we who are always right. Even I
Mm-hmm.
learn from them. They have a lot to teach me also. So it is
True.
both ways, right? So that is it. I feel, again, teacher training is very important. I feel without that, Teachers just know, yes, what is to be done, how it is to be done. They need to learn. And basically, because of that 2 years gap due to pandemic.
Yes. Training is important for teachers because it is also, we don't see that many people have mentors, right? So, and to create an environment that they should have a mentor, a trainer can be a mentor they look up to. Yeah, they have more knowledge than us, they can train us. So the same way a teacher can create a mentor for themselves, look up for a mentor, and that can guide them, because everybody need guidance to upgrade themselves, right? The students look up to teachers, the teachers should also look up to someone. So that is, I feel, yeah, training is very much important to upskill also. And the activities that are done in the training, because of that, a new personality is developed in every person. Even when I do training programs from other people, I learn from them. And even if one thing that I learned from all the things from them, even one thing, if I implement in my life, it's done. that that
Yeah,
is
the
that is
goal is
my
achieved.
achievement.
Yeah,
The goal is
true.
achieved,
Yeah,
because they must be teaching 10 things which other trainers are also teaching, but
yeah,
their one thing
yeah.
has touched me and helped me achieve my goal. That is enough,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes,
Well,
true.
thank you so much, Miss Asha, for sharing your beautiful journey with us and your ideas, your training, how you train the teachers. Thank you so much for coming on this episode.
Immensely grateful to you for inviting me to share my views. Thank you very
My
much, Amit.
pleasure. You're welcome. Well, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we will soon be back with another episode of Tea with a Teacher for you. I'm your host, Sayyid Hamid Hassan.